Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well and having a fabulous day. I wanted to try something new and do a reading about current energies and life in general. And what kind of spurred me to do this is because I've been getting a lot of messaging about how strong my intuition is and about how I should trust it more. And literally last night, I had a dream where I was with my friend, her mom, and her two daughters, and we were going out and about, and we were just sitting out in kind of like this town square kind of thing. And it got really windy, and I just got this impulse that we needed to get inside. And my friend was curious and wanting to know more and was believing me, but her mom was I don't think so. I don't think anything bad's gonna happen, being all doubtful. But we ended up going to a I guess a outdoor eating area that had a roof over it, and not too much longer later in the dream, this giant meteor came streaking across the sky, and at first everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Well, it ended up crashing down, not super close, but relatively close, and so there's little bits of debris and stuff, and waves of heat and whatnot from the impact. So I was like, oh, so that's why I had the impulse to go indoors, because yeah, don't really want to be dealing with that. And so my friend was, oh yeah, agreeing with me, and then we ended up finding a bunch of these cool crystal meteorite things that were metallic-y black and metallic-y silver, but they also would have these saturated bits of color in them, which was cool. I don't know if that's what real meteorites look like, but it'd be pretty cool. Anyhow, we have a variety of cards. I pulled them from the Crystal Spirits Oracle deck, the Osho Zen Tarot deck, the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck, and if you hear noises in the background, that's my cat. She's hyped up and ready for antics. We have the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck, the Moonology Oracle deck, and the Moonology Manifestations Oracle deck. So let's take a look at the cards we have and see what's coming through. So I pulled 3 from this deck. This one was the Beyond Lemuria deck, I think. I don't think I remember to mention that one. This one was the Osho deck. This one was the Moonology Manifestations deck. And we have the Moonology Oracle deck. Then I had, this one was the, Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck. And then we had the Daily Manifestations and the Daily Crystal Inspiration and the Crystal Spirits Oracle deck. So I'll look at this one first. And it is Adrian, I think is how you pronounce it. So Adrian is number 1 in the deck, and the essence of the meaning is integrity, solidarity, reliability, consistency. So what I'm getting is that we need to stay the course and be dedicated and live a life where we can be proud of. And I've been noticing in life that there are some people who haven't quite been doing that, and a lot of things are getting brought to the forefront and being exposed. So that's interesting. But that's something that I've strived to do, is live a life of integrity, and one that I can be proud of. And yes, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and I'm not saying we should have unreasonable, unattainable standards, but it's good to strive for living a life of treating others with respect, kindness, honesty, decency, having accountability and being responsible and persistent and just showing up and like treating other people the way you want to be treated, golden rule. So we also have the Marian quartz, which is practice patience, which for me, that leads into how a lot of people have been acting up. Like, I've had family members throwing full-blown temper tantrums because the cat doesn't want to give them a hug. She wants to play and runs away from them. And they get mad and, like, full-blown stomping feet, pouting. Like, it's a lot. There are people who are very much acting up and lashing out right now. So, to me, that says that we should have patience and stay the course and focus on ourselves and being, accountable and having integrity versus worrying so much about what other people are doing, because at the end of the day, you cannot control what other people are doing. You can only control what you choose to do, how you show up. So have patience and stay the course. We also have hold your vision. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Stay the course, be steadfast, have integrity, be persistent. Keep your vision of what you're looking to and like striving to manifest in your life to create your reality. Stay fixated on that. Don't get caught up in all the things other people are doing, and if they, are doing something you wouldn't do, it's like, yeah, don't let them, not be accountable for their own actions, but at the end of the day, what matters most? How you feel, how you show up, like you becoming the best version of yourself that you can. We also have step out of your comfort zone. Okay, so that kind of aligns with what I've been talking about and what's been going on in my life. Like, I haven't tried doing videos like these, and it's new, and I don't know, like, I'm sure I'll be able to fix this up better and get a better setup, but in order to reach your vision, you're going to need to get out of your comfort zone, because otherwise it probably would be in your life already. If you, same old. It's the whole saying of insanity is doing the same thing day in, day out, and then expecting different results. So you got to step outside of your comfort zone. You got to have patience as it comes little by little as you make progress to it, and then you have to be persistent and have integrity. We also have full moon and Cancers, let your fears dissolve. Yeah, that's what I'm saying with like stepping out of your comfort zone. Because as Ralph Smart likes to say, fear is false evidence appearing real. We can choose to be fearful and spend our energy that way, or we can choose to put our energy into thoughts and actions that help us obtain our vision. It'll help bring us closer. And it may not be easy to, go from one extreme to the other, be like, oh yes, I believe completely, I have hope, I know this will happen. So you can lean for the best feeling thought that you have. So it's like, well, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have things to work on, all these things. It was like, other people have done similar things. I've achieved things that I thought were impossible before. I can make progress a little bit every day, even if it's just like the smallest bit forward, and just kind of nudge yourself until you're just like, yeah, it is possible. It may not happen right away. I may not know how it's going to look like or how I'm going to attain it, but it can happen. And then we have full moon in Gemini, embrace the flow of life. Yeah, that's like saying with the patience. The flow of life isn't always at the speed that we want it to go. So we may want our vision to come in right here, right now, this red hot minute, but the flow of life is like, no, calm down. Go with the flow. Go with the stream. Don't go paddling upriver and trying to force it and effort your way into it, because a lot of times when we try to force things, it ends up blowing up in our faces. And we have the best intentions, and we like, oh yes, this will work. Well, a lot of times it ends up blowing up in our faces and not working out the way we want it to. Sometimes it's because we're not ready for it. Like, we could, like, all the people who, like, win the lottery and then have all this money and they end up blowing it and they're back to where they were before and they have no money and you weren't ready for it. Not that you can't have it, not that it won't ever come to you, but if you work on having the right mindset, like having your integrity and perseverance, having patience, stepping out of your comfort zone, dissolving your fear, keeping the focus on what you want instead of getting caught up in all the drama that, society likes to have. So, yeah, we gotta stay the course, go with the flow of life instead of against it, trying to force things. We also have Chiron, hurt and heal. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, is in order to get our vision, what we really want in life, we have to let go of our fears, which can deal with hurt, because, fear of rejection, fear of the failure, fear of making mistakes, fear of things playing out and blowing up in your face again, if you have past experience with stuff like that. So we got to heal the hurt. We can't let the hurt define us, because yes, there are a lot of people who do hurtful things out there. That's not to give them a free pass, but you got to focus on you and what you want and live that life of integrity to get that vision. And we also have cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. So I think that deals a lot with the hurt and heal for a lot of people. Not necessarily everyone, but if you're like me, your family dynamics aren't the best. Like, you would think that your family and your home would be, peace and comfort and love and support. Not everybody has that. Mine is pretty dysfunctional and can't see how, they can be really toxic and hurtful, and you can try to bring things up, and they'll tell you that you can't say that, and they'll gaslight you. Like, one time, I didn't feel in the mood for a picture right then, and I started getting family members screaming at me about how I hated my grandpa. So there's some very hurtful, dysfunctional family roots and homes. And so I think what it's saying is that we need to heal the hurt, especially if it comes with the family and the past and the trauma, which can also lead into letting fears dissolve, because a lot of times it comes from our family, because that's what sets up a lot of our perceptions and beliefs in the world. But once we do that, we're getting closer to our vision, and it leads into the integrity, because it makes me think about the story of the identical twins. And so these two identical twins, they grow up with this abusive, hurtful, drunk of a father who's getting in trouble with the law all the times, lashing out, screaming, just not being a good role model or supportive figure and good provider and, having that good childhood. And so the mother, when they're both grown, goes to the one son who happened to be in jail, and she's like, well, what happened? How'd you end up here? And he's like, well, look at my father. How could I not? And all angry. He's like, because, setting in those same footsteps is a lot of times what we end up doing, going through the same cycles and patterns of our family. So we gotta, heal the hurt. And then the mother goes to the other brother who's, has this loving, supportive family. He's super kind and there for the family. He's super successful with his job. Life just seems to be going great for him. She goes, hey, how'd you get here? How'd you get to this point? And goes, well, look at my father. How could I not? The one brother used it as a example of what not to be, about healing the hurt of the patterns and the family roots and the cycles, and just being a cycle breaker and saying, no more. I holding my vision of what I want, and I'm going to live a life of integrity. And then, he's got the happy life and the other brother doesn't. Not that there's anything wrong with being upset with other people wronging you and hurting you. That's valid, but that's in the past, and you shouldn't cling on to it and let it fester and just let it consume you, because there's no way for happiness to come in. There's no way for your dream life to come in if you're not healing that hurt. You can do better. So we also have She of the Lotus. It says, if there's a way to fast track growth, it is by being real with the shadowy or unloved parts of ourselves. Okay, so that gives me the messaging of healing the hurts, like we were talking about. Shadows can be painful or difficult to touch. Sensitivity can be a trigger that shows us where we might want to spring clean some of our dark, forgotten, ignored, or hidden corners. Yeah, we gotta let that go. Accepting our shadow is the first stage in restoring ourselves to wholeness and self-love. Peel back the layers where there is shame, guilt, or fear, and bring them into the daylight. Under a loving and compassionate light, they will resolve and reassimilate, reminding us on the flip side of the coin that these are our superpowers. Yeah. So it's going back into the healing the hurt. It's going back in and tying into stepping out of our comfort zones. It's not very comfortable looking at those hurts and looking at how it may have come from our family roots and working to reassimilate it and be like, no, it's okay. We'll heal to get that better life. So we also have reclaim your energy. Okay. Our energy is our responsibility, and how we give it away becomes a conscious choice as we step into empowerment. Yeah, that's having that life of integrity to create the life we want. And like the story of the two brothers, how they spent their energy, where they let their energy go, what kind of feelings and thoughts and beliefs they were empowering with their energy. And yes, it is possible to restore the fragments of self we gave away before we came into this awareness. You have the power to own your energy and choose where you direct it. If you are not at your optimal vibration, consider the core of why this may be. Detach from depleting influences and boost positivity. It is up to you to make the shift. Transform your life by choosing healing and self-empowerment. Kickstart the upward spiral of abundant energy and soul presence. Yeah. By reclaiming your energy and living that life of integrity, by healing your past hurts. Hello, Kitty. You get to your dream life. Hold on, guys. So yeah, it's very important to be mindful of how we are spending our energy, because we can use our focus and our choices and intentions to help or hinder us, much like the two twin brothers. The one went down a dark path, and it's not to say that, there aren't valid reasons for feeling that way, but he ended up making it his life. And he's like, well, look at my father. This is what I'm going to amount to. Versus the other one's just like, I see what you did there. It's not okay. It was very hurtful. It was very wrong. And I'm going to choose to do better. I'm going to choose to live a life of integrity and heal that hurt, so I can get to where I really want to be. So we also have home. Okay, another home card. Our way home to oneness and truest part of our infinite selves is to know ourselves beyond the socialized matrix of mind-constructed reality. When all sense of flighty survival drops away, a deep sigh radiates from the safe space within, where you can ground dreams into realities. Deep heart-based presence is a direct portal to home. Align with your temple space. You have dreams, visions, and may yearn for etheric realms, but it is when we are fully present in our bodies that we can actualize ideas and make a difference. Be grounded, find your home. The deeper our roots, the higher we can reach into the heavens. Yeah. So that's telling me, like, being conscious about how we're spending our energies with being integrity, healing the hurt and having strong roots to find your home, whether that's with your biological family members or if that's creating your own, whether that's with you, with found family, with like new people that you love, and getting into that flow of life. Because life isn't meant to be bad. Sure, there are ups and downs and there are hardships and, there are storms. But without the storms, there wouldn't be the rain to nurture all the plant life and you couldn't get rainbows. And so, yeah, maybe it's not always your preference, but it can make you stronger if you go with the flow of life. It can get you closer to your dream life. It might be, getting out of your comfort zone. But have patience, because you will become a better person. Like, I know with me, I've had some experience that I really would have rather not gone through. It was pretty painful at the time. It was not fun at all. Like, it was people lashing out on all these things and, like, being very disrespectful and unkind and dishonest and all these things, smear campaigns, all that jazz. But at the end of the day, I'm a stronger person for it. I have stronger boundaries. I can speak up more. I then can, know what's acceptable and what's not. Because if you hear that, that's the cat again. She's cuckoo. But with me, I like to give people a lot of chances. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. I like to see the good in them, the potential. And while all that's true, because anyone can change, anyone can learn, anyone can grow, it's a matter of whether they choose to. And it's the whole saying of you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Some people aren't going to choose to. And so you have to be okay with doing what's best for you, and sometimes that means walking away from them. And sometimes that means not letting people in your life when you can see the red flags. It's like, okay. And that's not to say that people can have bad days, but you got to be careful and mindful of who you let in so you can have your ideal life and live one of integrity and create a home that's living and nurturing for you. So, new vision, new vision to get that dream life. Because I feel like for a lot of people, there's a new vision of what life can be and what things can look like. Like, if you look at how people are, like, taking a closer look at, like, governments and how things are spent and things are coming to light, and, like, people are getting called out, even in Europe, it's just like, yeah, maybe we can have a government that's held accountable and that's actually for the people. Maybe, I can step out of my comfort zone, let go of my fears, and then get that dream life. So we got a lot of good things going for us, and it could very well take a lot of time. You gotta have patience. But good things are coming. We also have change. Yeah. The winds of change are very strong right now. And it can get very uncomfortable because I think it's going to get very messy. The whole saying, it gets worse before it gets better. It's going to get very messy. So we're going to have to go with the flow, because things might be one way one day and then another way be a whole another way another day. But if we let go of our fears and don't get caught up in, propaganda and, hype and all these things, the good change will come, get us that new vision. Good things are coming. You gotta believe and have the patience. So we also have celebrations. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. See how they're dancing in the rain? Like, some people be like, oh no, it's raining, I hate the rain. I know people that are like, oh gosh, it's raining, not again. And yeah, it's not necessarily the most fun to drive in, but I find rain to be very soothing. And we can celebrate, we can dance in the rain, because change and our new way of life is coming. It's coming. We'll need patience, but good things are coming. As the saying goes, all good things come to those who wait. And so we can celebrate, because when we hold on to our vision of our dream life and what we want to happen, and we let go of the fear, and we step out of our comfort zones, and we just hold on to what we want to create in life, we are like the second twin who becomes more than the herd of the family and what's the precedent that's set up by our families and society. We can have good things. So celebrate. Life is wonderful. Life is magical. And sometimes we just need to step back, take a breath, pause, process, and reflect, so we can see those little things sometimes that we can appreciate and just find joy and savor. Whether that's, the feeling of a cool breeze on your face, whether it's your cat snuggling up with you, whether it's a little happy note from a friend. She's like, hey, I care about you. I'm thinking of you, wishing you the best. There are so many good things out there. Sometimes it's the sun shining down on you. So celebrate. Life is good. We got this. The winds of change are coming. Hold on to your visions. Hold on to your dream life so you can make it happen. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. And we got this. Sending much love. Bye.